As a bankruptcy firm, Mitchell, Cunningham, and Bowling realizes many people are worried about their finances. We're here to guide you through the next steps to restart your life with easy video appointments. New clients don't have to leave home to get information about becoming debt-free. Also, convenient in-office appointments are available at the low cost of $340 upfront for a Chapter 13. You can be on your way to being debt-free. Contact Mitchell, Cunningham, and Bowling today or visit our website at mcdebtfree.com. We are here to help you.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
Well, welcome in the Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpon. We're in that pattern. As you can see, heat alerts for everybody in play as we continue to build temperatures that could eventually get us as hot as the triple-digit point. Now, obviously, what it feels like out there already at that threshold. That's why everybody under heat advisories at this point in time. The rarity on this is the duration, whether it's Union County, Lee County, Yalobusha County, or really anybody else. We're under these heat advisories at this point through Friday at 8 p.m. Typically, the Weather Service doesn't put these out, but maybe 48 hours out. The fact that we're going from Tuesday all the way to Friday tells, of course, the certainty and the significance of this hot stretch that we are in and will continue to be going through over the course of the next couple of days here. So on Mississippi Live Weather at 6, what we're focusing on this evening, again, is that building heat as the heat gets hotter. We're also, again, talking about just not the actual temperature and the humidity combined with the heat index there, but just the fact the actual temperature could reach the triple-digit point for some spots. Now, the tropics are continuing to heat up and stay active going forward as we approach the peak of hurricane season, the very latest on where those issues are starting to become significant. And paying for always a hot topic for maybe just people our age, Emily, or maybe everybody for kids alike. Looking ahead, Emily is joining us with the latest here on Mississippi Live News.
Well, it's definitely a hot topic for parents. If they're looking to pay for their child's education, they may have to start planning a lot sooner rather than later. And there is one way in Mississippi that you're able to lock in today's tuition rates now for whenever your child goes to college. But there's an even better deal than that. Yes.
Really?
Dare I say 20% less? Yes. It's really great news for all of those trying to save up for college.
Okay, I want the latest information on that. Emily will have that coming up here in just a couple minutes with Mississippi Live News. Appreciate that, Emily. And as we look throughout this evening, we would take 20% off of the temperatures here. That would certainly make a difference, but we're not getting it. Instead, it's about 20% more for what it feels like out there. It'll still probably feel like the 90s through at least 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. tonight. We're heading back in the mid-70s by early tomorrow morning. That one of those signs that the humidity and heat combination is going to continue to keep us obviously really hot. Those temperatures at this time coming in the middle 90s out there, 94 degrees in New Albany, 91 degrees in Tupelo at this moment in time, 91 in Amory. Feels like, though, 106 for that temperature in Amory, 99 what it feels like with that heat index in Tupelo, 106 in Columbus. Across the entire region, that actually compares to be hotter in some cases than a lot of other folks. There are pockets out there closer to Natchez where, as you can see, just looking at the color table is the case. Some pockets of even hotter temperatures, but obviously it is hot and steamy. And all the cooler temperatures you see back there into Georgia and out there in the Carolinas, that's associated with more active weather and severe weather out that direction. Something that we had some storms last night, knocked down some trees in some cases, but nothing like that out there at this point in time on Mama Justice Doppler radar. We are clear, we are dry. Make this a loop over the last hour, and you'll note that only bugs and things being detected out there at this point in time, really across the entire Magnolia State. But the active weather is back to the east, and again, impacting locations back out into Alabama, the Carolinas. I mean, look at this here. That's multiple rounds of severe weather back that direction. A reminder that, when you have a big ridge of high pressure, which has been the story really lately, all the way down there in the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America, Gulf, redirects all of the moisture, all of the more active weather on the outskirts of that. So had another meteorologist friend use the term ring of fire to describe it here. And certainly we are in the area inside that ring, but not a whole lot's going on. And that'll continue to be the case the next couple of days. In fact, when we look back to the north and west, there are plenty of active storms, even back into the Dakotas there. And we check out the temperatures back that direction. You'll notice it does get a little bit cooler, but there's not a huge drop in temperatures behind this frontal system at all. If we're honest, the nearest front, and I say nearest front, it's not something that'll impact us. I mean, you go mid 90s ahead of that versus in some cases directly behind it, still low 90s. So unfortunately, if we're looking for a meaningful drop off in temperature, it's not going to come from there, which is why the heat continues to build as that stays stalled to the north and a non-factor for us. So we continue to have moisture flowing out of the Gulf and at least maintaining the stickiness where it is. Yeah, a lot of storms up to the north, but no issues with those getting anywhere near us anytime soon. But it's just kind of wave after wave of severe weather back out there into the Midwest and the eastern portion of Tennessee and Kentucky there as the pattern. I mean, honestly, this year we have been very fortunate as far as severe weather goes. Those folks have had it, even back into the spring a lot more significantly than we have had it as well. So obviously thoughts and prayers with those folks. And thankful here that things have not been worse, but we get the heat, whether we want it or not. It's kind of the way weather works anyway, right? 76 degrees at 6 a.m. We're 83 by 9, 93 by noon, and mid-90s on the way by afternoon under what should be partly cloudy skies. Those clouds, again, bubbling up, but just not able to get tall enough to produce any sort of meaningful precipitation there. Coming up here in a few minutes, we will look at whether or not those kind of impact some of your plans. We're going to be breaking down kind of the overall pattern and how eventually we could see a shift in it. But 60 seconds away, it's our Emily Leonard. She's bringing us the latest with Mississippi Live News. You're watching Mississippi Live at 6. Thank you so much for supporting us here. Our, of course, premier sponsor there, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. More news right after.
Every legend starts somewhere.
Not with perfection, but with the decision.
The decision to show up, work harder, and believe this place can change everything.
At Northeast, you're more than just a number.
We're built on opportunity, and our students are willing to rise to the occasion.
Here, success isn't handed to you. It's earned.
You don't just leave with a degree, you leave as a legend.
Some things just go together.
Like friends and good vibes.
The perfect ribeye with a Caribbean twist.
Shrimp tacos and a hint of lime.
Unwinding after work.
Dinner with the family.
Or date night with someone special.
Do you want it neat or on the rocks?
Mozzarella or pepper jack?
Whatever you choose.
Whoever you're with.
We'll be here.
Because we know
together tastes better.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on Mississippi Live. I'm Emily Leonard. Columbus is getting very serious about its streets. Mayor Stephen Jones says the city council approved a citywide pavement analysis, hiring engineering firm Neil Schaefer to study every road in the city. Each street will get a pavement condition index rating, helping the city decide what needs to be fixed now, what can wait, and how to stretch every dollar. Mayor says it's about making smarter decisions with taxpayer money and not just paving for the sake of paving. The study is going to take several months, ending with a full presentation on the priorities, of course the costs, and a long-term plan for future paving budgets. This one goes out to all of our Main Street associations out there. You guys work so hard to make our communities, downtowns so special, so unique, and so inviting, and you deserve a little help doing that. The Mississippi Main Street Revitalization Grant Program is now accepting applications. Eligible communities can apply for up to $500,000. Money aimed at revitalizing downtowns, preserving historic properties, and strengthening our local economies. The deadline to apply is 1 month away. It's scheduled for September 11th. All right, parents, good news for you. Your kids' future got a little more affordable. Thank goodness, right? The Mississippi Affordable College Savings Plan is cutting fees by 20%. State Treasurer David McCray says that means more of your money stays invested in your child's education. The plan is known as MAX. It lets you lock in today's tuition rates while your kids are still young before those rates go up, because you know they're gonna. This plan is one of the top financial plans of its kind in the country. In fact, Forbes ranked Mississippi's plan number 6 among the top 10 prepaid college plans in the country. Thank you so much for joining us here on Mississippi Live. I'm Emily Leonard. Have a great night.
Reserve your St. Jude Dream Home giveaway ticket by August 28th, and you'll be eligible to win the house and the bonus prize, a 2026 Polar Ranger, courtesy of Dream Day Foundation. Visit dreamhome.org or call 1-800-456-8351 to reserve your ticket today.
Friday, August 21st, don't miss the Tupelo Super Show benefiting St. Jude, featuring the legends of Memphis Wrestling. Reserve your seat right now at memphiswrestling.tv.
This portion of Mississippi Live Weather is presented by Little's Jewelers.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's Mississippi's Chief Meteorologist, Matt Laubheim.
You're watching Mississippi Live at 6 on this hot and sticky and humid Tuesday. Gabe, these are the kind of days that I feel like just kind of drag on. I mean, I don't know about you, dog days of summer, I need something to cheer me up, and maybe some overnight opportunity to get outside and enjoy the weather would be one of those things. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about the negatives with the forecast, it's hot, it's miserable, it doesn't feel great outside. But there is a positive, and that comes with how those skies are shaping up. And we're going to be clear into those overnight hours and into the pre-dawn hours of our Wednesday. That's where the Perseid meteor shower will be ongoing, peaking August 12th through 13th. So that's going to be tonight into our Wednesday night. So if you're going to see it, now is as good of an opportunity as any. Nearly a meteor every 2 minutes based off of the 25 meteors an hour. So get out there and see if you can spot any. And of course, stay away from the lights, stay away from anything that'll hinder your vision. Should be a beautiful night sky no matter where you're at and whether the meteors show up or not. Batesville, we're seeing those clear skies already moving in, 93 degrees, but yes, we are talking about the negatives. It's 93, feeling like 100, and by the end of the week, those actual temperatures could be close to that feels like value right now. Iuka, 90 degrees, feeling like 100 in Tishomingo County as well. As Matt was talking about, not a ton of vertical development with these clouds. You do see how it's trying to get a little bit of lift, but the bulk of the rainfall well east of Iuka. Not going to see much in the rainfall department today and this evening for North Mississippi. And shout out the folks there at FM Bank giving us that shot there in Tishomingo County. And as we continue our tour across North Mississippi, we jump down towards Macon, 95 degrees, feeling like 102. Those puffy cumulus clouds definitely showing up, but rainfall not going to be paired with that. Folks there at Fastnet giving you that view down in Noxubee County. We talk 94 degrees in Macon. We're 95 Houston and Columbus, even out towards Grenada and Greenville, even up towards Clarksville and Tunica. So very similar temperatures across North Mississippi and very similar feels like values. I told you yesterday, despite them having that heat advisory more towards the Mississippi Delta, I said I'm expecting it to be expanded into North Mississippi, and it did exactly that. And as Matt mentioned, it's not just for today, it's all the way through the rest of the week as well. Friday, 8 p.m. And it doesn't end there either. As we look at our heat index graphic, you can see how those feels like values continue to remain at or above 105 degrees with early parts of next week. I mean, that is a hot, hot pattern. But of course, still several days out. We'll fine tune that as we approach it, but we do believe that we're going to be well into that heat advisory threshold through Friday. Some extreme heat warnings definitely on the table through our weekend. Luckily, our skies staying dry. I guess luckily in those afternoon plans, but unlucky in the fact that we're not getting into that rain-cooled air. So as we continue through Futurecast on our Tuesday night, going to stay dry. Any minimal chance of rainfall we do have will primarily be east of the state line, more towards Alabama. but even then, not a ton of opportunity here in North Mississippi to see much of that rainfall. And Wednesday morning, we're waking up similar today, mild and muggy once again, but going to be beautiful with plenty of clear skies out the door. We talked sunshine around drop-off, 90 degrees towards lunch, still with that sunshine, and then 94 by that final bell. So we always talk about what you need to send the kids with out the door. A water bottle or something that they can stay cool with, but they definitely need to stay hydrated. And that's what the folks there at IMPC, I know they love their patients, but I don't want to add to any of their patients because of any heat-related illnesses. So do what we can to stay safe and definitely stay prepared in advance of this another toasty day. 78 degrees Senatobia and South Haven. We're 76 Tupelo and Houston, 75 Louisville and Macon. So like I said, mild and muggy, and in some parts out in the Delta, close to that 80-degree threshold for the start of the day. Now we have this westerly flow, and that's going to cycle in those hot temperatures, but without that direct source out of the Gulf, that will keep moisture a little bit lower than where things stood the last couple of days. So I'm hopeful that that'll make the feels like values be a little bit more bearable, but I'm really nitpicking this forecast. I'm looking for any glimmer of hope for us here in North Mississippi. And as we continue that westerly flow, it is going to bring in that warm air. So by the afternoon, yes, a few partly cloudy skies, but overall it's going to be the sunshine that reigns supreme and the toasty temperatures for those Wednesday afternoon plans. So as you get out the door or maybe head to those after school practices, we need to stay hydrated then as well, and maybe even take those practices indoors for the early part of our afternoon. And as that sun starts to set, then we can get outside onto the football fields, because I know football players and coaches, they're ready to get those Friday night lights going. And even us here at Mississippi Live, we're excited to get that football forecast in play heading into next week, as Jamboree Week is less than 2 weeks away. High school football right around the corner. But as we look at those high temperatures Wednesday, this is the concern when we're talking high school athletics. 96 degrees Tupelo, Houston, and Starkville, 97 Greenwood and Cleveland, 99 Clarksdale, and triple digits on the table for our Wednesday afternoon. And like we talked about, the wet bulb globe temperature, that's something we'll go over later on tonight. But this is what we're going to see a lot of, is the extreme heat be a major concern. We're right around 105 degrees throughout the entirety of North Mississippi. So that's why those heat advisories are in effect, and will continue to be in effect through our midweek pattern and all the way into the end of the week as well. So we continue to track those limited rain chances further up towards Tennessee, whereas here in North Mississippi, we're not expecting a ton of development. So we're keeping those drier conditions around. We do have that southerly wind a bit. That's going to build back some of that moisture. So another mild and muggy morning for our Thursday morning. Heading out the door, a little bit more of that cloud cover building in too. So more partly cloudy skies compared to the abundant sunshine we'll see over the next couple of mornings. Thursday, dodging a few of those clouds, but no rainfall attached to it. And as we look at those low temperatures, 79 Greenville, 79 South Haven, 78 everywhere in between, and 77 towards Water Valley and Oxford, even out here towards Amory and Columbus. So that's where, when that moisture builds back, these low temperatures come up a bit as well. So the fact we're talking upper 80s for a larger number of us here in North Mississippi, then that does mean that there's a little bit more moisture in play for our Thursday. So let's get into those lunchtime forecasts on our Thursday, and we're continuing to stay on the drier side, those partly cloudy skies remaining overhead. But as we transition more towards our strike model, even our strike model not showing a ton of action here in North Mississippi. In fact, it's drawing back some of that moisture and cloud cover, making for a beautiful sunny sky during the afternoon. Of course, sunshine coming at a cost, meaning that we need to prepare, stay safe, stay hydrated, and find ways to stay cool. Well, that'll be the case even into those Thursday evening plans, but the temperatures are just going to be overwhelmingly hot. 99 Eupora and Starkville, 97 Grenada and Cleveland, 100 Clarksdale, 101 Greenville. Feels like values easily going above that triple digit mark. In fact, some spots out there towards northwest Mississippi by Thursday might even be under an extreme heat warning. While there's an advisory to kind of blanket everything right now, we could see some upgrades over the latter part of the week and even into the weekend as those temperatures do come up. Because if you look, Thursday we're 96, Friday we're 97, Saturday 99, and then yes, I put triple digits on this forecast. And I know there's still some hesitations. Matt's been talking about it through the evening. It really does come down to how much moisture is in the air, and that's something that we'll fine-tune as we approach our weekend. You can see that the skies are going to remain dry, but if we get more of a westerly flow instead of a directly southerly flow, then that's where these temperatures could become more and more realistic. I went ahead and put it because all models are kind of pointing that direction, but it's a rare sighting when we see triple digits here in North Mississippi. So that's one to pay attention to as we get further into the end of the week and the start of the weekend. But as we head into the end of the week, it is going to be heating up here in North Mississippi, but it's also heating up in the tropics. We're going to be tracking the latest on the tropical outlooks and what disturbances we need to be tracking. That coming up as Mississippi Live Weather at 6 continues right after the break.
Dust off your favorite shotgun and sign up for the Natchez Trace Council Clay Classic. Call 662-842-2871 or visit natcheztracecouncil.org.
For years, it's been the same formula. If it bleeds, it leads. You deserve better. We are Mississippi Live. We're focused on the stories that matter to you, to your community, to your family, because local matters. We are Mississippi Live.
Well, all of our cameras here showing similar shots, some puffy cumulus clouds, but a lot of sunshine out there as heat is our story. Of course, moisture and heat help the bubble up storms. But when we start talking about moisture and heat, those are also the ideal ingredients for the tropics. Unfortunately, that's a red bubble behind Gabe. As the tropics typically start heating up this time of year, we're looking there for where we could see some development soon.
Yeah, Matt, unfortunately, we have seen confidence increase from what we were tracking this time yesterday. As you see the red bubble behind me, that red disturbance indicating a high chance of development over the next 7 days. That chance at 70%, and then even over the next two, a medium chance at 40%. That coming up as well. I believe yesterday was around 30% when we were tracking that out with you guys. So paying attention to the tropics. We'll track this out here in just a moment. But before we get there, I also want to look at another disturbance that's up there towards the northeast coast, really moving off there towards the east, so I'm not concerned about this one bit for any impacts here in the United States. 20% chance of development over the next 2, 20% over the next 7, so not really expecting much out of the system as it does start to taper out, getting further off there into the Atlantic. So let's track out this system, and what we're paying attention to is right down here off that African coastline as this disturbance kind of shifts off there towards the west. And yesterday there were two kind of in that same spot. And exactly what we said, how that darker one, how the orange one then would overtake that disturbance. It did exactly that. So we're only watching one disturbance now out there in the southern Atlantic. And as that kind of moves through the area, you can see how it does start to get that counterclockwise motion to it. An intensifying storm as that gets closer to the mid-Atlantic. But watch the path on this. And it's one that you'll appreciate seeing because while it does trend further and further to the west, we do have this frontal boundary that will begin to develop overhead. And that front, that's going to be our brick wall, preventing it from entering into North Mississippi, but really entering into any inland areas of the United States, kind of dissipating out, and then by then the bulk of this moisture driven out with that frontal boundary, meaning that we're not expecting any impacts for us here in North Mississippi. But as Matt was mentioning, we're kind of in the start of the peak of hurricane season. Watch as we continue to look off there towards the African coastline, some of that Saharan dust getting off of those coastlines, and then eventually providing a few more disturbances right there off the coast of Africa and eventually moving through the southern Atlantic once again. And this is Friday into next week, so it is a welcome sight that we're looking nearly 2 weeks out for any development, and even by then, still a ways away from us here in North Mississippi. So if models hold, then we're looking pretty good. And even in the Gulf, the reason why I didn't show much of that, we're not expecting any development of any tropical systems there for us, and that means that impacts in our area not really looking likely over the next 2 weeks, fortunately. But you can see those systems trying to make their way through the mid-Atlantic, and some of those getting on the stronger side. But of course, we'll have to continue to monitor that. Now, I know I saw sports just come up behind me, one of our baseball graphics. We've been working on sports behind the scenes, and we will have football debuting next Friday. And you know what that means? Monday starts our Game of the Week voting. So we'll get back in the swing of things, and we're trying behind the scenes to really get our football coverage right for you. And we're really excited about some of the things that are going to be rolling out. And I think that's going to be something that you guys will appreciate as well. Matt, I don't even know how to describe it. I'm so excited about football coming back. And what we're going to be able to do is just going to be so good to get back on the field.
We're excited again for a football season to get back underway. Of course, SEC football, we're just under a month there, beginning of September. And in high school sports, as you mentioned, less than 2 weeks away. So getting very excited and look forward to the Game of the Week and all of the other things that we're going to be doing this upcoming season. Appreciate that, Gabe. I'm bringing our Emily Leonard here. Again, the big launch that we had over the course of the summer was Mississippi Live News. And she, of course, anchoring that for us here. Emily, what do you have coming up for us tonight at 9 and 10 o'clock?
Well, sometimes we let Gabe anchor too, just occasionally. Coming up at 9 o'clock tonight, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Nate Bargatze. He is a Nashville comedian, very famous, very popular guy. He's going to be spending a whole lot of time in Mississippi between the end of September, mid-October. He's going to be at several places. We'll tell you where he is going to be. Also, scam alert. There seems to be a new scam going around every day, so we'll talk about that. And then also a local community teaming up with a university to provide free tuition for city employees. I mean, we're talking about college. I mean, college is underway. They're going to start moving in like this week, so we might as well talk about saving for college, right?
Man, that's like the next level of saving, right?
I know. This is a really good deal, a really great opportunity for some local folks in North Mississippi.
We're looking forward to hearing more about that. Again, Mississippi Live News tonight at 9 and 10 p.m. Gabe, of course, updates on what's going on there in the tropics as we continue to look at the very latest related to that and the heat. Just how hot we get. Of course, he'll have updates there. And by the way, if you're lucky enough to be able to get some nice shots overnight as the Perseid meteor shower comes through, it's probably going to be difficult to get a camera shot with any of the meteors, but maybe you're up and you spot something weather-related, send those in using the Mississippi Live app. We'll see you at 9 and 10, and thank you so much for supporting us here on Mississippi Live.
Growing up in a farming community, I've always been fascinated with the weather. But in 2024, my draw to be a mother became stronger.
So I took a step back from my job until Matt gave me a call. Mississippi Live allows me to be fully present at home while also getting to do my dream job as a broadcast meteorologist.
Wake up with me every weekday morning on Mississippi Live.